Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time car show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Today, coming to you from the Houston Summer Auto Show at NRG Center. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin back in the corner, Chief Engineer, Transmission Man David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks for joining us today. And joining us now in the remote studio is the man himself. You know, we don't get to see him in person very often.
Not very often.
We talk to him on Zoom calls. But ladies and gentlemen, joining us now in the glittery red jacket,
this is an electric segment.
Richard Buzz Smith, the evangelist, or EV-angelist, as we like to call him. Buzz, it's great to see you, man.
Same here, bud. I'm glad to see you guys in person again.
Yeah, so now we can harass you in live.
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready.
I know you always are.
Especially after last night's news, or night before last. That F-150 Lightning, I've said for a while now, pickup trucks were the tipping point. You know, 60% of all new vehicles sold in the western U.S. are going to be pickup trucks.
And 90% here in Texas.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's coming out. The Hummer's coming out this year. The Cybertruck's coming out this year.
The Rivian?
Rivian early next year. This is the tipping point, guys. And you know, you had this tailpipes and tacos. What are they going to call it? There's no more tailpipe in the very near future. This is going to be huge.
It will be
easy.
The plug and taco.
Don't forget the lyric.
Tacos, just breakfast tacos.
The Cadillac Lyric.
Tron.
Yeah, the Cadillac Lyrics are really interesting. And the Volkswagen ID4 is here at the show. And I got to drive one for about an hour the other day. That is an astounding EV.
But did it run out of fuel?
That's why you only drove it for an hour.
You always hit that. I've never run out of fuel, ever.
Can you take it on the Jeep track? Will they let you do that?
No, they're not. But, you know, even Jeep has announced that they're going to come out with an EV.
It's the white one right behind you.
They have one on the track.
No way.
Yeah, they have
electric.
They have an electric.
That's what he said.
It's a hybrid electric.
It's a hybrid.
Oh, okay.
So there is an ICE to it, but here he says it'll drive all day on the electric.
Excellent. And you can drive, by the way, if you're thinking about coming to the auto show, they have a Ford Mustang Mach-E in the ride and drive area. So you can come here, get in line, and you can go drive a Mach-E today.
Well, I have to tell you that unless somebody in the press corps wrecks it, I have a Mach-E coming for a test drive in the next month.
I will
and
drive
he's
back down
anxious
to
about
Houston to play with that. I want to be in the car when you drive that.
Yeah, well, you just keep on dreaming.
Make him drive it up to you, up to Dallas. Drive it up
to Dallas, Don.
Go up and meet Buzz for lunch.
That's what we'll do. We'll meet halfway.
Yes.
Just in time for a charge.
Yeah,
Sam's
there
in
you go.
Fairfield. Oh, my aching rear end.
You can meet in Buffalo.
We'll meet in
It's about
Buffalo.
halfway.
Is it easy to push an electric car? I mean, when you run.
No, it's heavy. But
Talk about
Can you see the abuse I take here?
talk about heavy cars. Did you hear they announced the weight of the Hummer EV?
9,000 pounds.
What?
Now, not only that, 9,000 pounds, but it'll go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. We're talking C8 Corvette speed. You're going to move 9,000 pounds to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds.
But how long does the charge last?
That's what I'm thinking.
3 miles. 3 miles and you – no, I'm kidding.
See, we even
But
got
you
to
get
agree
there
on
really
this
quick.
now, huh?
Yeah, you get there really quick. No, I think it's at the high end, they're going to have almost 400 miles range. Right. So it's like I said, all of these trucks are the tipping point for this country.
But the Hummer is well over $100,000.
The top
first
tier
is.
one.
Yeah, they're only making the high-end ones in the beginning. The lower-end ones will be $80,000. But, again, that Ford at under $40,000 with the $7,500 income tax credit, you're talking about a $32,500
He
truck.
is going to buy one immediately.
No,
Well,
no,
I'm
he's
not a
not going to
pickup
buy
guy.
one. He's going to go to work at a Ford store so he can get one for free.
And he's going to wear that jacket.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, that might happen.
Now,
So let's get serious for a minute. Let's talk about the Houston Auto Show and what you got going on here. You got your own thing down there.
Well, it's not mine. It's actually Evolve Houston, which is a public and private consortium that is pushing for Houston to lead the nation in electric vehicle adoption. They're looking for 30% of all new vehicles to be electric by 2030. I think actually it's going to happen a lot faster than that, but you know me, I'm an electric optimist. The show this year, we've got a Porsche Taycan, we've got a Mustang Mach-E, a Volkswagen ID4, we've got the new Audi e-tron. It's the GT, not the SUV this time. And we've got some fleet vehicles. We've got a couple of Bolt EV fleet vehicles, a Leaf, and a
all in your display down there?
Yeah, there's 8 EVs down there.
I remember not that long ago, just a couple of years ago, there was nothing in there except you and a display behind you that poster boards.
The world is changing quickly.
Who is making that mandate of that time frame? Is it the state for Texas, or
Not really? Is that an objective from Evolve?
Yeah, that's just an objective that they've come up with. It's a goal. City of Houston's one of them. University of Houston's doing some research.
Gotcha.
But a lot of it is electric utility companies. Imagine that. Follow the money. But CenterPoint, NRG,
Duracell.
They obviously want electric vehicle adoption as well.
So I also heard we had one of the Ford guys on, the Ford fleet guys, and Ford has announced an all-electric transit van.
Yes.
They're full-size, big, Amazon-level transit van, all EV.
And, my wife and I, we really want our next EV to enable us to do camping. She's a professional video editor. We want to take the video editing studio on the road with us. And that Transit all-electric, that could be
cool.
a phenomenal vehicle to do something like that. The Canoe delivery vehicle is similar in form factor, and they've got a version of that called the Adventure vehicle that looks like something right out of Mad Max. But even the Volkswagen ID Buzz, which is the old hippie bus from the 60s, modernized for electric.
I resemble that remark.
Grateful Dead.
But, all of those cars are on my short list because I'm really interested in doing a lot more camping.
I have something that I wanted to show you.
I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know. Can you turn this camera on?
Absolutely.
Let me show our viewers at home what I got.
Snapshot that and get the number.
Oh, an EV go-kart.
I've got my first EV go-kart, ladies and gentlemen. So I can go to the grocery store down the street over at Whole Foods, and if I have an issue this time, I can go to the EV go charging place and get me some juice.
There's only 38 cents in the card.
It's kind of like a credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little thing
Barcode,
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the chargers nowadays, you don't even need that. You just wave your phone in front of it. It knows who you are. It knows what.
Well, I'm old school, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to have
not
to
you.
pull me along.
Don still has a bag phone with a big battery on the side of it.
I know what a bag phone is.
Keeps it in his belly bag.
It's an old bag phone.
It's an old bag, an old dried up old man phone is what you're talking about. All right. So a great display, lots of vehicle. Can you sit in those things?
Absolutely. Well, the Porsche, they made us lock up, but the rest of them are open where you can get inside of them.
Well, cool. I think that's a great idea because a lot of people that haven't seen them, like over in my part of the world, there's not very many over there. Mm-hmm. I saw a Tesla the other day and almost went off the road. But people need to come and sit down in them and realize, this is a vehicle.
Just a regular car.
Yeah, it's the powertrain.
Just the propulsion system's different.
That's the most important thing. The last thing I would say to my customers as they were leaving the lot in their new EV is say, look, it's just a car. That's people think that they've got to know all this kilowatt hour stuff. It's just a car. It
Buzz,
just uses different fuel.
Let me ask you something. So what has changed? I read a story somewhere here, not just a few weeks ago, actually, that this infrastructure issue, then it has been an issue, is about to change because now the government is stepping up and they're going to help companies to set up infrastructure for electrics. And that's been my biggest challenge, as you know.
Yeah.
And you actually ran into that on your round circle trip that you had to make a detour to make sure that you had enough juice to get back where you need to go.
He just had to plan his route correctly.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But we're trying to forget having to plan routes and charging stations where you get low. Okay, well, there's a charging station there, kind of like the 7-Eleven on every corner around town.
That's probably not too far away.
There's 2 points to that. The first is, yes, absolutely, the government in the new infrastructure plan, if that gets adopted, is going to roll out 500,000 DC fast chargers here in the United States. Now, to give you the amount of scale we're talking about today, there's between 75,000 and 100,000 of them. General Motors just
across the United States.
Across the United States. General Motors just signed a deal with EVgo. Same goal. They're going to put out 500,000 fast chargers. Shell, worldwide, in the next 4 years, is going to put out 400,000 DC fast chargers. So, but the thing that people have to realize is this is not, it doesn't have to be on every street corner like a gas station anymore, because 99% of the time, your gas station is in your own garage. You're going to plug it into a 110 outlet or a 220 outlet.
220.
Not necessarily.
Oh,
you know, fast charge.
Hold on. 80% of Americans drive less than 40 miles a day. Why go buy a $500 charger if the 110 will do it for free? I mean, really?
Yeah, that hasn't been my experience either.
I don't know about free.
But let me ask you this. So I get my EV and I go home and I can plug it into my 110, or I can buy the charger. Now, I'm out on the road. I mean, how am I going to know where there's a charger that I can plug in?
The car will tell you.
You've got to have another person that's sitting there with some binoculars. No.
There
are apps for the phone, and a lot of the apps like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now will locate the charger and show you on the display
I'm just
going to
say every car that I've had that's been electric shows on the display that if you press the right button, you know, where's the next charging station.
Okay, but not all the charging cords are the same, is my understanding.
A lot, or almost all DC fast chargers now are equipped for both the Asian standard CHAdeMO and the U.S. standard CCS. Tesla is a separate animal, and there are adapters you can use to use a level 2 Tesla charger, but the DC fast Tesla charger can only be used by Teslas. So there is some differentiation there. Now, there are apps like PlugShare that you can say, okay, I'm not driving a Tesla, so filter out the Tesla chargers. They don't show up on the map. Okay. You're not distracted at all.
So they can, that's what I was wondering, because I knew that Tesla was different than everybody else, but is there that much variance? But apparently there's.
And this reminds you of the old beta VHS days.
We've had that discussion.
12 o'clock.
That's coming to an end. In Asia, they're starting to add CCS ports to the Asian cars, so the American standard's going to end up being dominant. And I've heard a rumor that Tesla's about to start adding CCS ports on their European models. So if that happens, it's only a matter of time before everything is using CCS.
Standardized, yeah.
And it's, you know, we're all watching DVDs
particularly
or
if the big
Blu-rays instead of.
Yeah, if the infrastructure says the majority, there's 10 million ports out here you can use if you use this, but if you use the other one, there's only 75,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to make more sense.
Yeah, and exactly what you're talking about there, you know, you're asking about, well, how do they come up with 20, 30, and 30%, all that? I think all of these things, like GM saying we're going to be 100% electric by 2035, or Ford saying in Europe we'll be 100% electric by 25, the market's going to decide this. And it's going to happen a lot faster, I think, than the OEMs are predicting, especially now that the trucks are coming out. The people that were most vehemently against EVs were the pickup truck drivers, and it's one, they were being left out of the game, and two, they just didn't believe that it could be performance like this.
Right.
Well, it's about to be proven to them. And when that happens, the tipping point happens, and everybody's going to have an EV. It's going to happen really quick.
Well, and there's those RVs that are sitting right over there on the other end of the building. You know, if you got a truck that you can go over there and you can hook up to your travel trailer, and you can go up to the lake 2 hours away, 3 hours away, or whatever, then you're right. That's what's going to make a difference.
And turn the generator on in your RV and plug your truck in while you're driving.
I was wondering about that. I mean, you're almost talking perpetual motion by the time you've got it. You're self-charging as you're going down
gas.
the road.
You still need to stop and gas.
No. Can the inverter off the battery charge, run it off of that, plug it into the 110, then run it down?
No. But Hank Hill's going to be really upset because nobody's going to need propane for their trips anymore.
Hank will be out of a job again.
Yeah. Shocking statement.
All I can think of is strapping that Honda generator to the top of my EV. So when it runs out of juice, I just go up there and give it a couple of
Don,
yanks.
we are going on a road trip. I am going to
I want you to take them on one,
I'm telling you.
please.
Fairfield, Texas. There's a Sam's. It's a great buffet restaurant there. We'll meet there,
and then
I'm driving
Sam's
with
hot dogs. I mean, you can't beat them.
Y'all should have done that drive to Las Vegas, 4 of you in an EV, and then given the EV to a needy family.
Actually, you ought to come up.
Rally.
Yeah.
We know that drive we're going to do from Denver, Colorado to Olympia and Washington and back. You ought to come and meet us for part of that drive, because we will charge twice a day. Once while we're driving, we'll stop for a meal and charge the car, and the second time we'll be at the hotel where we'll sleep that night. So it'll be like driving a gas car because the charging will happen while we eat, and then the other charging will happen while we sleep. It won't really delay
Does this
us.
mean that I'm going to have to take off work to do this?
This is work. This is tax deductible for you.
No,
Come on now.
No. I mean, I have a real job, too.
Well, you
so.
could do it as a news story. Hey, we'll contact Channel 13, and you can do it as a news story. You could become the electric anchor man.
Here, let me go ahead and just answer for them right now. Not interested. I just
Can we
answered
get you
for
a
them.
jacket like Buzz's got?
Yeah.
And Channel 11 actually had me on for an Earth Day piece they did that was going to be about renewable energy, electric vehicles, and all that. Believe it or not, after they met me, it was all about electric vehicles. And I had people calling me, I saw you on TV today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what
But
size
seriously, let's do a road trip, bud.
Well, you know,
Is there?
I tell you what. When I retire from my job, which hopefully will be
10 years.
2035 or something like that,
When everything's electric.
I'll let you know. Yeah, and I'll let you know how my EV goes when I get the Ford
I was
Mustang.
going to say, when you get the electric helicopter.
I won't be
EV
riding in
helicopter.
that.
Well, we'll have a chase helicopter when he does the ride.
GM's
Yeah,
doing
Buzz.
a two-person drone. I mean, they're going to have
Good
now
for
that
them.
we've automated driving in 2 dimensions. The next step is 3 dimensions, and they're going to make drones that you sit in and
You
just
know,
fly
I've
you
made
without
it
you
all
piloting it.
these years without death yet. And I don't think I'm going to put myself in the air.
Not gonna
I'll
roll
let
the
somebody,
chopper.
somebody else do all of that, but thank you for asking.
Now, at this time, Don, it's really not going to make that much a difference in your longevity. So you might as well go ahead and try.
Oh, boy.
And he thinks he's coming on the show again. You're done.
What size is that jacket you're wearing? It might fit him.
Yeah, you know, we have had more.
We could actually try that.
We have had more laughs with Buzz and the EV thing than I think than anything. And you know, we're just kidding around, but it is fun to talk
But he's
about.
educating us on EVs
Well,
as
absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Some
Is-
people just can't be taught anything. Don.
Dragging me along.
We'll have a test next week.
Yeah, no, there won't be. But thank you for asking. So, do each of the vehicles that you have, the EVs that you have down there, do they show things like mileage and how often you have to recharge them?
Yeah, that's actually on the window sticker of all the cars, and a lot of customers are confused by the EPA area of the bumpers or the window sticker because it looks so different. But they have a bar graph that's even on the gas cars that show you where it fits in
Yep.
the
Right,
pollution
yeah.
level. If you look at the far right of that, at the bottom of that bar, it shows you how far it'll go on a charge. So it's right there. And in the upper left corner of that bar, it has a thing called MPGE,
Yep.
mile per gallon equivalent. So you get a rough idea of what
That
kind
Jeep
of fuel
right there's
economy.
got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll give you an idea what the economy is going to be like. Now, the MPGE is just a calculation based on energy and gasoline versus energy and electricity, which is not really accurate. You actually do much better in an electric vehicle. And so I do a calculation based on the price of gas versus the price of electricity, because that's what people care about. And I actually have a small spreadsheet that you can load on your smartphone, plug in the cost of electricity.
Buzz, you know I
price of
love you,
gasoline
but I
it'll
am
give you.
not going to download your spreadsheet. I appreciate the offer, though.
It's only $3 a copy. I'll fund half of yours. It'll be $1.50.
Perfect.
at EV-angelist.com.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's on the cars.
Yeah.
Is there a large spread between the 7 vehicles that you got down there?
They didn't give us a window sticker for the Porsche, so that one I can't really
Okay.
talk about. But
6
the
then.
acceleration it's got, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's at the lower end. All of them nowadays are usually between about 219 miles of range to 260 miles of range. All of them are about, except for the really heavy ones, you're looking at somewhere between 80 mile per gallon equivalent and 120 mile per gallon equivalent. So nowadays everything's going to have over 200 miles of range. In the case of the top-of-line Mustang, 400 miles of range.
And they keep saying that, you know, the Tesla now is up to 300 miles if you get the big battery in it. Am I correct?
I think they're actually getting closer to 400 now. Yeah.
But is that true? Do you know that for a fact? I mean, did they say that on the sticker?
Well, your results may vary.
No, I know that.
And it depends on weather. And once you get used to driving
Whether or not you
electric
got a heavy
vehicles-
foot.
Oh, yeah, that too. But like coldest days of winter, if you're using a space heater, that's going to be a pretty big impact, up to 20%. But what you do is while the car is still plugged into the wall, you start it 10 minutes before you're going to leave, so it uses the wall electricity to preheat the car. And then once you get in the car, you turn the thermostat down a little bit and you use the seat heaters and the heated steering wheel to keep you comfortable. And that uses 1/10 of the energy of that space heater. So there's all kinds of things that you can do once you're used to driving an electric
learn
vehicle.
that environment.
Yeah, to squeeze a little bit extra out.
It's kind of like driving an old Volkswagen Bug that didn't really have a heater in it, and you were heating the interior from the exhaust system, and you
that
had to plan
explains
ahead.
a lot.
I had a Volkswagen. I put a sterno can in it.
Oh my Lord.
So, I know Tesla. I was just reading an article about Tesla's about to release their new Roadster, or is presenting their new Roadster. Talking about 560 miles on full charge.
And it is one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Now I think it's going to list for $190,000 if I remember correctly.
When you play at that level, if you have
Right.
to ask how much, you
Yeah.
need to go somewhere else.
Yep, you're right. But that is going to be a supercar. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it, because 0 to 60 on that is now well below 3 seconds. I
Right.
think they're getting close to 2.1 or something like that.
I actually think they were talking about breaking into the 1.9.
Holy cow. You know,
Is that insane?
why?
Because
This
you
seems
can.
Because you can.
Okay.
There's a goal. Everything's got a goal.
Were you a hot rodder at one point in your life at all?
Or you were always an EV? Did you grow up with
No,
a golf
I had
cart?
a 67 Camaro Rally Sport. I thought I was a hot rodding guy back then.
You were.
Okay.
That was high school. But after that, I got married at the age of 20, and so it was family cars.
Yeah.
I did have a Triumph TR6, but those weren't really hot rods at
No.
all. They were just fun.
Yeah.
They just leaked.
You know, did they ever?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't have to change the oil, just kept pouring fresh in the top.
I had to leave it at the side of the road one night right here in Houston during a typical Houston rainstorm, and vandals tried to burn it. They wadded up newspaper behind the seats. It leaked rainwater into the car, and they couldn't burn my car. So, yeah, you're right. Triumphs, they definitely leaked.
So where do we find you here in the Energy Center? Where are you
When
down
you
there?
come in the main entrance, I'm going to be at the very back wall on the left-hand side about
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Oh, he's not in the
we're
corner.
right next to the Aston Martins. And am I dressed right?
Yes,
for
you
next
are.
To the
Yes,
Aston
you
Martins?
are right.
I
Wait
wish
a
I had
minute.
a martini glass to walk over and tell them shaken, not spurred, or Smith, Buzz Smith. And, I'd love to do that.
They put me in a corner.
Yeah, well, there's a
We
reason
always
for
put
that.
you in the corner.
Yeah, always. Well, Buzz, it's good to see you. And,
Always good to see you.
Same here, guys.
We appreciate you stopping by and talking to us, and we appreciate your patience with our ribbing and teasing and all of that.
You
But
guys are a hoot. I
You're
mean,
a
I
good
love
sport.
coming down and sparring with
I
you.
know
You're
you
a good
do.
sport.
And it is EV-angelist.
Yeah, he always has a hard time. But yeah, EV-angelist.com. And if you want to support our cross-country road trip, we're hoping to get a pickup truck for this, but it's EVroadtripmovie.com. And we're going to sell a bunch of T-shirts to try to get the production costs down and all, but we're going to make a feature-length documentary about this trip. And my message is, you know, I want to meet people that work in the oil and gas industry that are concerned about what's happening, because I lost everything in the '85 crash. I know what that's like. But the fact of the matter is, the industry is going to move from where it is today to a different area. Those jobs are going to shift. If you can build a pipeline, you can build bridges, you can build roads. If you are climbing up high on a rig to work on it, you can install a wind turbine. So what I want people to do is not go through the pain I went through, realize this change is coming. You can't stop it. I mean, it's just going to happen.
Right.
But get ready for it. You know, be smart about it. There's a great article in this month's Texas Monthly, a company that made offshore rigs that would go out, you know, drop down to the ocean floor and drill for oil. They now make them where they go out, drop down to the floor, and they drill down into the bedrock to put in foundations for offshore wind turbines. So the energy companies realize they're still going to make money. They're just going to make it a different way, and the people working in that industry need to hear that message too.
Buzz, thanks again.
You
we
bet,
appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
I hope.
Yeah, you will. No doubt about it. Now, I want to get a couple of more news stories in before we finish up our show from the Houston Auto Show today. As mentioned, the fully loaded 2022 GMC Hummer Edition 1 pickup will weigh 9,046 pounds, or 4.5 tons, more than twice as much as a base-level GMC Sierra full-size pickup. The electric Hummer will be more than 900 pounds heavier than the original Hummer H1 and more than 2,000 pounds heavier than the 2021 Sierra 2500 or 3500 4x4 with a standard bed. The pickup will launch this fall with a low-volume edition, one trim, starting at $112,595, including shipping. And Kia Motors has issued a new fix for the more than 440,000 vehicles recalled last year because of the possibility of leaking brake fluid that can lead to thermal events while parked or driving.
Ouch.
The affected vehicles in the U.S., 283,803.1 Kia Optima sedans from the 2013 through 15 model, and 156,567 Kia Sorento crossovers from the 14 and 15 model years.
Did you hear that a Dutch court has ordered former Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn to repay his salary to Nissan? Good luck.
Good luck on that.
We always bring him up for some reason.
Well, it's a fun story.
That keeps giving.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you focused on, Dan?
Anything else here?
Yeah.
He's looking at something.
Hyundai Motor Group has lately had a lot to say about its ambitions in electric vehicles and advanced transportation technologies. Last week, it vowed to put its money where its mouth is. South Korean automaker said it will invest $7.4 billion in the U.S. by 2025 to produce a suite of electric vehicles, upgrade factories, and develop smart mobility technologies. Hyundai's launching a global battery electric brand that uses the Ioniq name from its current hybrid and EV hatchbacks.
You can shake on that.
We got to take a quick break, and we'll be wrapping up today's show from the Houston Auto Show right after this.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos expands again. Now you'll be able to participate at 3 Lupi Tortilla locations. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier Saturday morning cruise-in, featuring made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and good times. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos, now at 3 Lupi Tortilla locations. Highway 249 in Tomball, West U on 59 near Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. At Tailpipes and Tacos, you'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at 3 Lupi Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy, Tomball, and West U. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Show will be broadcasting from the Katy location. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m., now at 3 locations, Tomball, Katy, and West U, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
It's always good to be right on top of things, don't you think? Well, that's it for the In Wheel Time Car Show Extra Edition from the Houston Summer Auto Show, and we want to thank you for joining us. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features, along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available at your favorite podcast outlet. Special thanks to all of our guests today, and especially to our Houston Auto exec, Rochelle Salinas, for all of her assistance and expertise with the Houston Auto Dealers Association. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our marketing manager and video technical director is Jeffrey Zekin. For booking agent and podcast man, Mike Out of This World Mars, and his royalty, King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. So long. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.